Hey guys, welcome back to Deck War. In today's Deck War, I'm going to be VCing the Phoenix Blue versus the Streamline. Now the reason I picked these two decks is because they're very similar in a certain way. They're two decks that you would actually use for Magic because they're quite cheap, they're very easy to pick up, and it's definitely worth doing this because I think that these are two decks, and Bicycle, but I thought Bicycle's quite a deck that everyone was quite widely using. So I thought, why not pick a deck that many people may have not heard of, or two decks that you can actually, in the US it's a lot more easier to grab these, or grab the Streamline obviously in certain stores, but let's compare them. So a little bit of information on both of these decks. So first off, the Phoenix deck, any of them basically, or out of the red and blue, it's made by Cardshark, the company called Cardshark, and they are located in Germany. It is an air cushion finish and it has 4 custom aces, and also it was brought out in 2009 from what I believe. Don't quote me on that. And then the Streamline also is a poker deck as well. It's Streamline, USPCC, comes in blue as well. It is still in print. Also, they sell it in like Walmart, Walgreens, some of them, not all of them, but you can pick it up in like these various stores. Also, was made, or this one actually I've got here is in 2009. This one was printed, and it is a plastic coated. So we're going to be comparing like the standard Bicycle stocked up this plastic coated. So we're going to see which one of these actually stands out for me. Let's have a look at the Streamline first. Okay, so let's get started with this Streamline. Now as you can see straight away on the top, it has poker, and it has Streamline in this really nice joined together typo. It has playing cards and it shows you the reveal of an ace. It has an ace there and it has different pips just to go around there. You can see it has this nice border that goes around. It's not too thick, not too thin, and it has these nice swirls that come off the sides there and even there. It looks very realistic too. It's very unique, and I really like that. On the side it has the United States, if I get it to focus, the United States Playing Card Company. And then on the other side it has Made in the USA. On the bottom it has a barcode and some copyright information just there, and then on the top it has poker with a USPCC black just seal, United States Playing Card Company black seal. Now the back design is quite intricate, I would say. It's got quite a lot of flowers, quite a lot of vines. It is a mirrored back, so if you flip it around it makes no difference. It's really awesome, quite a unique and very like a modern kind of design that you see on quite a lot of cards. Because it's not super expensive, it's going to be you'll usually get this same design really, but like, you know, a lot of like say cheap decks will go with like the B one because it's easy basically. But this one's actually quite detailed if you think about it. Really unique, very eye-catching, but all around a very nice tuck case. Very plain but simple, and that's what you want. On the tab, as you can see, some copyright information just there saying that the USPCC, and then, you know, inside as well, it's literally the same. But let's have a look, because my camera's going out of focus, okay, so let's look at the Phoenix deck. Now, as you can see, it doesn't use such a really dark blue. It uses quite a, it uses like a kind of a lightly dark blue, like a really darkish, not too dark blue. It has Phoenix in like this fiery style letters, the way they've done it, and it has Phoenix back playing cards, and you can see it has a Phoenix there that's like jumping away from fire. They've done a lot of shading with it on the, as you can see here, you've got a lot of shading, and the also like details they've got going on. On the side it has air cushion finish, made in the USA, so obviously it's useful. And on the other side it has air cushion finish, made in the USA as well. On the bottom it has designed by Cardshark, Germany, manufactured by the United States Playing Card Company. And on the top it has Phoenix. I think maybe it says Phoenix back, I'm not too sure, it's covered up there. Has the exact same USPCC seal. And then you get to the back design, that's quite the same as the Streamline, very intricate, very unique. It has a thin border according to the back design, and it has 2 Phoenixes in there. It is a mirrored back, and you can see it has these nice kind of like fire in the corner, the leaves. It's a really awesome, intricate design, very unique. A lot of decks do actually have like a standard Bicycle, but I think these two compared to each other are going to be quite a close call, just because of the way they look. But an awesome just looking deck. But even when you get into the tab as well, it just has some copyright information for the Phoenix deck as well. They have a website, www.phoenixdeck.com, and then there's nothing else, but we'll have a look what it's like inside the deck in a second. But let's have a look at the Streamline deck first. Okay, so let's have a look at the Streamline deck. Now, first off, you can see this is a very unique deck because compared to the other one, because it's actually a plastic coated. So what this means is there's no actual air pockets in it. So there's no little holes, as you can see, there's no little holes in this deck whatsoever. It's literally just a really smooth like basically the print to it on the cardstock. But we received just 2 jokers. I don't think you received a blank card. I think you did. No, you didn't. I don't have a blank card with this deck. This is literally all I received with this deck. So this is what you get. But you can see it's an awesome deck of cards. Okay, so as I was saying, it's an awesome deck of cards. You receive 2 jokers. Now these don't actually have a reveal, but you can see it's just a clown, very standard. It has plastic coated joker, just a very standard joker. There's not a lot to really go on about them. They're just standard, no reveal at all, just standard jokers. And then you get the ace, and you can see it has Streamline. As I was saying, it has Streamline there, and it has the United States Playing Card Company. It has this very weird like ace because it has this kind of like feathers that go round the ace, and it has Streamline in the centre, so obviously it looks like the phoenix, like the kind of wings that are going round, and it has a standard ace of spades pips. But you go the whole way through and it has like the Arco pips, like the blue crown use. So you go the whole way through and it has like this chunky pips like the Arcos use. And then you get to the royalty and you can see it's like the 125 years as well, so the Arco pips. But really awesome with the colouring they've used. You can see that they've got the yellow, the red, the blue, all round. It's just the standard Arco pips. You can see you get to the hearts as well, they're exactly the same with the standard chunky pips. And then it's also the same with the clubs and also with the diamonds. It's not like it's a fully custom deck, it's just a standard deck, but really nice. I definitely say it's an awesome deck. Now the back design wise, you can see it doesn't have such a thin border, it has just like a standard border, but what that's really good for is, what I like out of this, when I get to focus on it for you, there you go. You can see when we actually have a look at it, it's got a lot of detail. It's got the flowers just in the corners. You've got all the patterns, the mirrored back. All around it's a very unique back design and it stands out for me, I would say. But all around it's a nice deck of cards, I would say actually. But it's a plastic coated, so we'll have to see what it's like in handling. But let's have a look at the Phoenix deck. Okay, so let's have a look at the Phoenix deck first. Now you can see with the back design it has a very nice thin kind of ish border, so it makes for a better, like a really nice fan. You can see it has 2 phoenixes in the centre and it has like these kind of leaves in the branches in the deck with different shades of the white and the blue design, and it has this nice border that goes around. It makes it for an intricate design. It has like this S and then like a dotted pattern and then an S that goes round. But all round it's a very unique and simplistic back design that would look absolutely awesome if you're performing with, and it's definitely a nice deck if you want to use for cardistry, not just because of the way, actually the handling of it, but I would say just because of the look of it, and it's very eye-catching and I think it would look good in certain flourishes. We'll just turn it over and have a look what we get with this deck. Now this is the deck, you see you receive a blank card, so it makes the deck look like you haven't even got a deck, but really you obviously have. So you receive a gaff card with this deck, and that is also useful if you're going to be, you know, having this deck in your collection. So then we receive 2 jokers. Now these are identical, they're both facing identical ways. You can see it has Joker, and it has Joker in red, and like it's fire coming up from the Joker, and it has Phoenix, and you can see it's different, like it's a shade of black, white, and grey. So it's different colouring just there to make this awesome set of jokers, and there's no issues with those. I really dig those. Really awesome, very simplistic. Then we get the Ace of Spades, and it looks very, well, how do I put it? It's very, how would I put it? It's basically the bicycle. It's very simplistic to it. It has Phoenix, it has Master Edition and Finest Poker playing cards, and you can see it has like a Phoenix in the centre. They've just got the exact same thing with a dotted around the outside. It's just basically a copy of that, of the bicycle. And I'm very disappointed in that because I thought it wouldn't be like that, but as you can see it just looks like a bicycle. It looks like they just haven't bothered, and that's disappointing, I would say. But it has Phoenix there as well. You move on and you can see it has the rest of the pips, and now these are just standard bicycles, so these are just standard bikes, so you're also probably just used to these, but they're just standard bicycles the whole way through, nothing different. And even when you get to the royalty, they haven't changed massively. It's just the standard Jack, Queen, King with the colouring of the yellow, the red and the blue. It's just standard royalty, nothing there to actually make it stand out in my opinion. And you can even get the hearts as well. You can see they're exactly the same, but then you actually get to the ace, and they've actually done a custom, just giant ace really, with just like a little white line around it. And the same with the clubs as well. You get a custom, and then you also, as you can see, get a custom ace of diamonds, or just giant ones basically. And also I did get this card signed, it was just for a trick. But basically it's an all-round, it's an awesome deck of cards, but it's a bit plain. But obviously that's what the deck's actually for. You're paying, it's a cheap deck. But let's have a look what these decks are like for handling. Okay, so let's have a look at what this deck is like for handling. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a quick test. Now, for springing and dribbling, this deck has no issues whatsoever, and it shouldn't do really, because if it did, then obviously it's not going to be a good deck to even have in your collection if it can't even spring or dribble. But springing and dribbling this deck is absolutely not an issue, and it really does handle well. For a fan wise, it does do a really nice fan. I haven't seen any issues with this deck for fanning. It does look really nice, and it's a plastic coated, and it's going for quite a long time, especially as it is a plastic coated deck. We can do a ripple shuffle. You can see just doing a ripple shuffling also has no issues. We can do a Pharaoh. Now, doing a Pharaoh of a plastic deck tends to be quite hard, but we're going to see if this one can manage it. And as you can see, it actually does. And we can do a giant fan, and it doesn't do such a bad giant fan for a deck that's only like $3 if you went to the US. A little bit more over here, I think it's like, I don't know, £4 to get your hands on one. But it's not a super expensive deck, but for what you pay, it's actually worth it if you're going to be doing stuff that's very simple. It's not really a deck that you're going to be doing like mega stuff where it's just more for like card tricks. All round, it's just an awesome deck. You can even do, say, let's say a double lift, and we can do a colour change. All round, it's just a very unique deck of cards and worth getting if you're more into like Magician deck. I would say this is an awesome deck. So let's look at the Phoenix deck for handling. So let's look at the Phoenix deck for handling. So as you can see, dribbling with this deck has no issue whatsoever. It's really awesome in dribbles, and also looks amazing in springs. Does it a lot easier, I would say. It feels a lot better in the hand as well. All around, a very simplistic deck with a really nice back design that makes it a really awesome fan. It does fan quite well. I wouldn't say it fans bad, but I wouldn't say it's the best fan that this deck could possibly bring. I feel that maybe if the deck had a little bit more of a better stock, it would have gone a lot well, and I think this deck would have done a lot better, say in a lot more, say the products, making it more higher up in people's collections, and actually being able to get this camera to focus will be absolutely awesome. Problem is when you have a camera, guys, is when you have a DSLR, it's a real big problem to get it to focus. As you can see, just trying to get this to focus right now, there you go. So all around, it is a very nice deck of cards, but to do certain things, I would say it's not the best for this. You can see just doing fanning is nice, but we can do, say, a Pharaoh. So we'll just do a Pharaoh. As you can see, it is gone out of focus again. This is terrible. Okay, sorry about that going out of focus, sorry about it. It's just trying to get used to this camera, and also it doesn't like me, this camera. It takes so long to get this video done, and I'm really apologetic. So as you can see, Giant Fan is not very good this deck. I'll say it does look nice if the deck hasn't been used as much, but this deck has been used. But all around, it is a very nice deck, you know, for Charlier cuts, you can do card reductions. Also just doing, you know, say double lifts and colour changes are very easy. But all round, it's a deck that's an awesome one to have. Okay, so which one is my favourite and why? I'm very apologetic, sorry for my camera keep defocusing, but my favourite one is going to have to be the Streamline. Now the only reason for this is because it handles, I feel, a lot nicer. I know even though it's a plastic coated, and it looks a lot better, I would say, just because of personal preference, I would go for the Streamline. Doesn't mean the Phoenix is a nice deck of cards, but all round I would prefer this any day of the week. But definitely worth grabbing if you actually have the opportunity to get this deck. It's worth having this in your collection. So the Streamline is going to be the winner for this week in Deck War. All round, I'm very pleased with this. It's just, I think all round it's a very nice deck to have in your collection, especially when it's been made. Obviously they're still in print. It's not going to be like, it's not like a deck that's been out of print, so it's going to be not hard to get your hands on. It's a very nice deck of cards, and if you guys enjoyed this deck war, then give it a big old like just down there, click subscribe just there, and check out previous video just up there. So sorry about the camera defocusing, I will get that sorted, but thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.